We've had the Nintendo Switch 2 for an entire year, so here are my thoughts. Obviously, I bought this console the day it came out. I've had a Switch, or I got my Switch in May of 2017. With the Switch 2, that was one that I definitely wanted to be around for the release. Sorry if we're gonna get some glare here, because obviously, we got a big old screen, but, I got some thoughts. So, in terms of games, right, brand new games, or Switch 2 games, I do only own 3. I got the Mario Kart World when it came out. Pokemon Legends EA I did get for Switch 2, though that is available on Switch 1. And as you can see, I have Pokopia here, though I did not purchase a case for it because it only had the digital code card, which is a whole thing, and I'm very against digital code card, or not code cards, key cards, right? The one with the little cartridge and you just download it. It's the same as if you download it, basically. Aside from the fact that I guess you can, like, resell key cards. But still, that one was one I decided, you know what, I'm just going to download it. So, the Switch 2, the main thing I got it for was, like, Scarlet and Violet, right? You can see here, Scarlet version. So, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did have an update for Switch 2, allowing it to run a lot better on the console. Hey, that's a great angle there. And so that was kind of the main reason I got it, because then I would make videos on it and so on and so on. And that was a really good summer, having the Switch 2 with Scarlet Violet and, Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World's a whole story on its own. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I enjoyed playing through it and unlocking a bunch of stuff and playing it with my brothers. And it's been a while since we've played it all together, right? Mario Kart are the games that, I'll play on my own and I'll get a bunch of stuff unlocked, and then I'll want to play it with friends and with people. And, I did play with friends, actually, when some of them were over a while ago, but I guess that was the summer. So, Mario Kart World is, fine. I really wish, though, that would have gotten some updates. Can you believe that? It's been a whole year since it's been out, and, no big updates or anything, because that's the upside of video games nowadays, that you can do that, right? The cases are kind of, I've gotten used to the cases here, although not when they have a bunch of big old stuff printed here. But Mario Kart World is, I will admit, it is one that I just do not touch that often. Because I just got a lot of other games going on. But I will say, I'm very happy with the Scarlet Violet update. Legends EA runs pretty well on the Switch there. Pokopia is just does really well for it. Fortnite is native on this. Before, there used to be Fortnite for the Nintendo Switch, but you can just download regular Fortnite on this. And I know not everybody cares necessarily. I like Fortnite. I think it's kind of neat. I've been known to play it here and there. And I think that's where the extent of it. Oh, the GameCube, right? We got the GameCube library on this as well. So I think that's been nice. I played the Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness on it. If you watch the streams on the main channel, I messed around with the Mario Strikers here, as you can see. And, oh, do I need to be using my controller? Which, by the way, I do have a Pro Controller. That's something I'll talk about, too, in this. But I think that's kind of all I did. Oh, I played Soul Calibur with a friend, but, they really got to keep adding to this. We got 9 games on this, a good start, but this thing's been out for a year. So, there's that. But otherwise, overall, I just really like the Switch 2. I love the feel of it. I think it was definitely worth it. I'm a big fan of the magnetic Joy-Cons doing this instead of the sliding in. The sliding in was satisfying, but honestly, this is a lot more satisfying. Huge fan of the big old kickstand on the back, so you don't even need a stand. So I did have this, right, for my regular Switch 1. And nowadays, I'm kind of using it more for my iPad, if anything. Nice little branded stand, and it's really good. And like I said, so I use my Switch mostly docked, or I will use it on desktop mode. I'm not really a handheld kind of person when it comes to the Switch, so that's what I like about it. So having that big old kickstand, nice there, nice solid. Oh, one of the biggest improvements they could have made. I like the overall heft of it. It feels nice. It feels a lot more premium. The Joy-Cons, I really wish that we had some better Joy-Cons going on, because the Joy-Cons with the different colors that they give you are just like the colors under here and on the side here, which most of that is hidden when you have it in handheld mode. I really liked the Splatoon 2 Joy-Cons for the Switch 2, and I'm just really upset that we haven't gotten big, cool official Joy-Cons. Is everyone they're releasing is these colors, and with the colors hidden, right? Is gray on the outside and the colors hidden. So, yeah. There's that. The Pro Controller, I will say, this is one of my favorite controllers that I have owned It's, you know, it's basically a form factor of the Switch 1, except with the added buttons. This is the communication button, I guess. Overall, it feels a lot nicer. I like the finish of it better. It's kind of a sort of a matte finish, right? I guess that it has like the buttons here, which that's like a standard thing on controllers for the most part nowadays, is having like the extra kind of buttons here. But what you do is you can program these as anything, and it's really easy to reprogram them, and you can have it be different things for every game, and it's so much better. But most of the time I kind of like have it be the if any game needs you to like click the joysticks, I'll program it to these, because I do not like clicking joysticks. I think that's really unintuitive, so I'll just have it down here, and it's just, you know, something for my little middle fingers to do there. But otherwise, it's nice. You can make handheld mode in Pokemon again, where you can make this the A button, so you can just do that. So very happy with the controller, very nice. The game's very happy with the quality of those so far. Mario Kart World, like I said, I kind of wish I would have been like that. Though I will say, you know, price, that's another big thing, is that this was, what was it? It was like $450 on release. Now, I get questions about price every so often, and as I mentioned in like my Fire Red video here on this channel, is that my perception of price is so different compared to everybody else when it comes to like buying video games, because, right, I have a YouTube channel and I make money from that YouTube channel, and everything I make from there goes into a specific checking account that I then use to buy other stuff for the channel, right? It's a little loop, it's a little circle, right? So that's basically my Switch. So effectively, I don't want to say I got my Switch for free, but it was covered pretty well. On top of that, I had some Best Buy gift cards, so I utilized this, and I had, you know, it was very easy to get this. Though again, you know, I had to buy some games, had to buy a big controller and docks. Oh, I have 2 docks. I have 2 docks for my Switch, one in my living room and then one here at my desk. So we're big spenders here. But you know, there has been a price raise increase for this for a lot of consoles, or basically every console now, because the world sucks. But now I think the Switch is about $500, and that is just for the Switch, not including anything else. So we've had a year though, so I will say that if you really wanted one, hopefully you could have saved up for. I know not everybody is in the same situation. I know not everybody can easily put away money for a long time, but I think for the most part we knew that this was going to happen. So it's just a matter of like, be smart if you can, and if you can't, then I hope you do. I hope things go well, go a lot better for you later on. That was an uncomfortable laugh. I think that's mostly what I have to say about the Switch. Though I will say that just with the frequency of games in general, and especially being a Pokemon fan, right? Pokemon, we just had like an insane beginning of a year to like how much has been released and how much is going to be consuming your time to play things that I just have not gotten onto. Have not gotten to play a lot of other Switch 2 games. Like what's on here? Donkey Kong Bonanza. I have not played Donkey Kong Bonanza. I would like to get to that sometime. That's probably the big thing there. What have we got? Oh, Star Fox. Star Fox is coming out later this month. I'll get that. Oh yeah, the demo. We can download the demo now. Let me see. What I know. Riveting gameplay. I should just connect it to the dock, because then we can just have that. But I can't show off the thing there. But otherwise, like over this past week. Oh, Splatoon Raiders. That's right. You know, we've had some good reveals, and I think that definitely we kind of need to step things up maybe a bit more there. Let's see, so the big releases, right? Last year, the big release for the Switch, we had Mario Kart World for the summer. Later in the year, we had Bonanza, and so that was like a pretty good start. Again, you know, World I think should have gotten more support continuously, and Bonanza is a single player experience, so it was already, you know, it's already there. It has a beginning, middle, and end, and a story. Now this year, Star Fox is kind of their main summer release, and it looks like Ocarina of Time is going to be their winter release. You know, taking into consideration just other games. And these are only like the first party Nintendo stuff. You know, there's a bunch of other things coming here. And, oh, Yoshi. Yeah, Yoshi. Who's going to play Yoshi? So, I think it's been fine. I think maybe they could have used like one more big, really dazzling thing, because the unfortunate thing is that Donkey Kong is effectively the follow-up to Odyssey, but I know it did not get the same amount of hype as Odyssey because it wasn't Mario for whatever reason. Just replace the plumber with an ape and people don't care for some reason. So that's that. I think for the most part that's kind of all I got. Otherwise, what else did I buy for the Switch? I know I'm showing off just everything I bought. Look, I paid money on this and it's appearing in a video, tax write-offs, right? The case. right? The case is huge, or at least this is the case that I got, because this is similar to the last case that I got for the Switch 1. I kind of like this more hard one, and that also has like kind of a separate pouch for your games, and fits everything nicely in there. But I will say this thing's huge. Here, what, next to me for scale? This thing's huge compared to the Switch 1. Like, the Switch 1 already was like a decent amount to carry around, because, you know, it's portable, but we are definitely not pocket consoles. Nowadays, like, you know, my Game Boy Advance SP that I have, it is literally the same size as my phone. Takes up the same footprint as my phone. So, amazing to think that consoles used to just be like that. Even a DS Lite folded, it takes up about the same footprint as your phone. The Switch 1 was already, you know, pretty big and decent to carry around, which, you know, not that I was really putting stuff in my pocket anyway. I would want to have it in a pouch or a bag. But the Switch 2 is just like that slightly bit bigger, which is good for somebody like me with big hands and big everything, right? But it definitely does cut down on the portability. I took this to, so when I went to World Championships earlier, well, I was going to say earlier this year, it's almost been a year ago, but when I went to Pokemon World Championships, I did bring my Switch with me, and it was in the case, it was in the bag, and most of the time I did just leave it back at my hotel room, because I was like, well, I brought it in case, but there's already just so much to do, and, you know, I wasn't like competing in anything, or I wasn't competing in any main event or side event, obviously, so different story there. I was there as a spectator and hanging out with all my YouTube friends, and they also didn't just have their Switch there because there was just so much else to do here and there. So I will say that it kind of does cut that down, and unfortunately, right, still no Street Pass off it, of course, because you know, Switch just does not have Street Pass. And, you know, could you imagine like carrying this big old thing in your bag just for a Street Pass? So it really, yes, it's portable, but I feel like we still have yet to make it one of those things that, like, yes, this is something like you need to bring with you. Remember the first trailers for the Switch that showed people playing it in a park, at the airport, and so on and so on? Did I play this? I think I did. I brought this with me on a flight. Did I play it on the flight? I'll probably have to scroll my Twitter and see. I probably did post a picture of me playing it on the plane, because, you know, that's a whole joke and a meme. But overall, I think I like the Switch 2. I definitely understand the reason for it existing. I'm very glad I purchased mine on day one, for the fact of, you know, just having it early, avoiding the price increase that happened later on, getting to play Mario Kart when it came out and enjoy it with people and friends during that summer, being ready for Legends EA, being ready for Pokopia when it came out, making sure I get a controller easy. The dock, right? The docks were the things that would sell out, I think, so the fact that I have the one that came with the Switch that I bought, and then the fact that I have the other dock that I bought separately, right, you get rewarded for being an early adopter just by virtue of, or just because things run out and prices increase, and, you know, it's really cool. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I know a good amount of people still do not have a Switch 2, and we're waiting for that one game to really push it over, and I agree with that mentality, though it is unfortunate that you're being punished for that because of price increases that, you know, due to other factors and everything. I know $50 doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're already paying $450 and then it goes all the way up to $500, yes, it's pretty dramatic, because you're going to pay an extra $50 on top of that for sales tax anyway, and so on. So I understand that, and that's how I was, at least with the 3DS. I waited until Pokemon had made it to the 3DS in order to get one. Meanwhile, the DS, I think I did get it when it released, and Switch, right? Even the Switch 1, I did wait until Mario Kart was out on it, and Splatoon was on the horizon. Right, because I'm not really a Zelda fan, so I didn't have a reason to buy it when it came out, and you know, to not try to compete with people, because I know Switch 1, those had the issues where it's like, ooh, are there any in stock? Ooh, are there any in stock? And that one I happened to stop by like a Target after I was on a walk, and I saw that they had like 3 Switch consoles, so I'm like, oh shoot, you know what? I'll buy one now. Different story with the Switch 2, where I, you know, established YouTuber, and I had that income to, you know, set away for buying stuff. So different story this time around, but yeah, let me know what you think. Do you have a Switch 2 yet? What are your favorite games on it? What games are you looking forward to? Or, you know, do you not have one? Or are there games that you want to play and you're just kind of waiting until there's like a good stock of games to go ahead and just buy it all at once? Which, you know, not a bad idea, because it incentivizes you putting away some money to do so. Yeah, it sucks that things cost so much nowadays. and we got a bunch of other problems. But I like my funny little video game toys, and I'm having fun with them. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe. Again, comments, very much appreciated, as we're trying to reach monetization on this channel. And if you want to see more chats and yaps like this, let me know in the comments below. This one, I'm going to count this as a more positive one, and I want to do a more positive one before I do another negative one soon. So get ready for that. Anyway, this is GatorX. Catch y'all later.